Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sankar, sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I just wanted to start this session by the words put by Peter Drucker. There is no end to education. It is not that you read a book, pass an examination, and finish with education. The whole of life, from the moment you are born to the moment you die, is a process of learning. These words of Peter Drucker highly emphasize the importance of learning. And now we all are connected only in trust of new learning. I feel very much happy to start our third day of 7 days FTP on applications of tools and techniques in research methodology and accelerate to publish article in Scopus and Web of Science. It is my pleasure to start this FTP by extending a hearty welcome to our today's resource person, Dr. K. Shankar Ganesh, Professor and Dean of Academics, Lead College of Management, Palakkad, Kerala. And I also welcome all the participants from various other colleges and the participants of Hindustan College of Arts and Science. Once again, a warm welcome to one and all. Rise above the storm, and you will find the sunshine. To welcome is our responsibility. And now I call our HOD ma'am, Dr. M. Nirmala, to give the welcome note. I welcome you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. A very pleasant noon to all. On behalf of Hindustan Educational and Charitable Trust, I am greatly privileged to welcoming distinguished gathering, eminent speakers and delegates from various parts of Tamil Nadu and other states for this enchanting occasion. It is gratifying to note that the agenda of this 7 days faculty development program covers captivating content related to research management. Today is the third day of our session under the topic of fundamentals of social research. In this regard, on behalf of Hindustan Educational and Charitable Trust, I warmly welcome to our chief guest, Dr. K. Shankar Ganesh, Professor and Dean of Academic, Lead College of Management, Palakkad, Kerala. He is an eminent guest through his experience and analyze about the present essential requirements in research methodology. We are grateful to him for his readily accepting our invitation. Your speech will be definitely useful for upcoming research students to develop their professional progress. Our warm welcome to you, sir. I'm
Thank you,
thankful
madam.
to our managing trustee. Thank you, sir. I'm thankful to our managing trustee, Srimati Saraswati Kanayan ma'am, our executive trustee, Dr. Priyat Satish Prabhu ma'am, Hindustan Educational and Charitable Trust, for their continuous support to strengthen our academy. We are also privileged to thank our Honorable CEO, Dr. Karnagaran sir, and our Principal, Dr. A. Ponusamy sir, for their continuous support leads motivational occasion for us. I'm grateful to welcome all the faculty members and my colleagues on their response for their participation. I wish you all to get effective utilization of today's program. Thank you and enjoy the today's session. Once again, welcome you all. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your welcome note. To start our third day of FTP, we have an eminent person with us who is ready to share his entire knowledge in fundamentals of social research. Yes, now we have Dr. K. Shankar Ganesh, Professor and the Dean of Academics, Lead College of Management, Palakkad, Kerala. Sir is having more than 25 years of teaching experience. He has worked in various capacities like head of the department, admission head, media coordinator, public relation officer, soft skill trainer, course coordinator, event manager, valuation board chairman, PhD external evaluator, and Sir has completed many consultancy projects as well. He has also published papers in national, international, and Scopus Web of Science journals as well. Sir has also acted as a resource person in various colleges and universities. He also acts as an advisory in educational boards like Mantic Publications India, editorial board member in the Journal of Business and Economic Development and Science, advisory member in International Journal of Innovative Research in Management Studies India, editorial board member in the journal International Journal of Consumerism, editorial board member in International Journal of Applied Services Marketing Perspective. And with this short note of our resource person, now I welcome our resource person to start the session. I welcome you, sir. Sankar, sir. I welcome you, sir.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes. Let me express my gratitude for this, for inviting me in this auspicious faculty development program. Thank you. Thank you for such an invitation. Let me also express my gratitude to the management of the college and the head of the department, all the teaching fraternity of the department, and who all took the initiative to organize such a wonderful faculty development program in this pandemic period. Thank you, and let me get into the session. Let me welcome all the teaching fraternities here. So I believe some 84 members are here, and I'm happy to address all the teaching fraternity in this auspicious occasion. Like we are going to discuss about, I could see many of doctorates here who may be well experienced and maybe having good exposure, and it can be sharing of ideas even. So I welcome each and everybody to contribute their ideas and suggestions and to have a better discussion here. Let me get into the session today. This fundamentals of research. Why should this topic to be discussed in the faculty development program, which is very much related to this research and research methodology? Yes, fine. What is the role of a teacher or a professor who is working in a college? Is, of course, uh, everyone understands that our role is an eminent role. Our role is a noble profession, and it has been respected by all the people of public, and we play a significant role in knowledge transformation. So that part is agreed by everyone, and we do understand that a teacher is playing a very significant role in people's life. I believe my faculty who gave me input for the betterment, for the development of my language, for the grooming of myself, and he took a major part in my career, and he is all the way with me, which is with his valuable advice. And like everyone is having such a mentor or a teacher in their life. So a small advice which is given in the class, a small contribution which is given in the class is taken throughout the life of a person or a student. We call this a student. Like such a role we play, and we are in the field of knowledge transformation, and we go with the show of teaching and learning process. Then what to do with the research? Why this research is mandatory? Is like colleges are asking for what are the publications you have for promotions or for survival? Is that the question? No, that may not be. That should not be. Many of the people join or think about research because of their career advancement. Is that the only part? Of course, I agree with that. I agree with a person can go with research for having a better career advancement. That is fine. But still, something is very alarming, very important to know about this research. See, to my consideration, this is my point of view, and it can be a common point of view even. It is like we teach in a class. Is our role is stopped or restricted to that alone? No. The answer is no. We do have a very big responsibility in the society. We do have a very big concern to the society and people and public. That is the reason why the teaching fraternity is considered as one of the major source or the major significant part in conducting this research. Yes, I do consider your teacher's role is to transform knowledge first to the students, and the next part is what next to the society. The society, we get a lot more things from the society. We get a very good education, we get very good exposure, we develop ourselves, we groom ourselves, we get motivated, everything we get from the society. In return, what we give. So our role is more significant in contributing to the society through research. That is what I connect with, how your teacher and your research is very important. So research is not mandatory only for giving publications and getting promotions and for mandatory for career advancement. It is there more important what we give to the society. Fine. If with this understanding, let me get into the topic, fundamentals of social research. Yes, of course, I could see happy faces, like many doctorates are here, and even senior more people are here. They can also share their ideas and views. They are always welcome. Now, why this fundamental topic has been taken in this FDP? Basically, there are many points to be noted, many points to be understood, and various even small things which may be helping people to do a good research is very important. Yes, of course. Let us speak about what is social research and this, how this social research is connecting with people's life. Yes, social research gives a solution for a social problem, social issue. And let us go with this slide now. Is the slide is visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible. Visible, sir.
Social research, in the social research, we address many social issues and we can understand the better behavior of human, and we can identify or examine or investigate any sort of issues happening in the society. I would like to point out a serious issue which is annoying me, which is very much concern to me. Two things. One is drug abusement. Like drug abusement is like we go to medical shop if we have headache or a fever and go and purchase medicines on our own. In fact, even we go with definite names of the tablets. We go and ask Calpol, we go and ask paracetamol, we go and ask for Dolo 650 or some. We may give the name. We understand we have fever just because of rise in temperature and body aches we have, and we go to the medical shop, pharmaceutical shops directly, and we go with purchase medicines. And there are concepts like called as drug misuse, abuse. These at times we want to sleep. We may not be having cold. We know that if we take cold tablet, we may have an intention of sleeping. In that case, we consume this tablet and we sleep for long hours. So now here the tablet is misused. Abusement without a medical practitioner's prescription, a doctor's recommendation, we straight away go to the medical shops and we buy medicines and consume the medicines. So we ourselves diagnose the problem and we come out with a solution and go with this. This is not a strange thing which is happening here and there. It is happening everywhere, every home, and everyone used to practice this. In foreign countries, this practices cannot be encouraged. So what they do, they have a rule of doctor's prescription is necessary for buying medicines, at least for majority of the medicines. But here that is not the case. See, this is an issue. This is a social problem here. And how this problem is affecting people, and how we can surely give a solution for this problem, and what are the various reasons for which people go and buy medicines for their own problem. So if you understand this, and if you want to do this research in this particular area, here you can see that we are addressing a social issue, a social problem is there, and that is how your research can be combined with understanding human behaviors in particular situation or a particular issue. There are many scientists saying that social issues can be addressed by research, by having a detailed investigation, by having a detailed, detailed by having a detailed like investigation and analysis. There is a saying from Sage Publications, one of the leading publications, research how it should be. It should be in a clear findings way. A research outcome should be a clear-cut finding, and it should be rigorously coming out. It should help the issues to be solved. So generally we used to, that is why we used to, when the students are presenting the projects, or when we are in MPhil Viva was, or when we are in PhD Viva was, we just correlate what are your objectives and what are the findings. What is the relationship between objectives and findings, whether it has been solved or not. Do we have findings for each and every objectives? The purpose is to have a clear-cut findings. And this statement is given by Sage Publications. And I would like to point out another research which was conducted in 1982, that he says, Mr. Rutan says that the scope of social research, it flows into individuals and communities through effects on firms, households, and government agencies. Yes. It is an understanding of individuals and communities. It gets into understanding of individuals and communities, a group of people, through what? Through firms, companies, households, and government agencies. Yes, it's rightly said. The scope covers, a social research covers the society. Society in terms of individuals, communities, firms, households, and government agencies. And why do we need social research? As I pointed out earlier, drug abusement is an issue. And now, as a social responsible person, as a prominent teacher, as a researcher, we have to do investigation on the social issues. In this presentation, I have taken two issues to be addressed here, and I'll be talking about these two issues throughout the speech today. One is drug abusement, and second one is problems faced by these migrant employees. So these two were the major issues. One is general issue, which is not relevant with this COVID, but the second one is an issue which is having connection with COVID. Yes, the research starts with problem identification. Problem identification tells about like what is the problem we choose. See, let me say one thing. I have seen people like, I'm interested in green marketing, sir. So shall I take my research topic in green marketing? Fine. What is the problem there? And is that problem annoying you? Is that problem making you to giving you a scope for investigation? That is how we have to look into an issue. And in commerce, in companies, if it is a HR issue, few of my students and scholars are coming and asking like, sir, shall I do a project in absenteeism? Okay, my next question will be, is there any absenteeism problem there? And the students there says that, no, sir, all the employees are prompt to their office. They are not taking leave unnecessarily. Then there is no problem. Why do you want to take a problem where there is no issue? See, our interest alone does not confine, our interest alone cannot determine a research issue identification. As a responsible person, we have to look into many issues. Whichever issue is very much uh, like getting your focus, getting your attention, then we can prepare ourselves. And if we feel comfortable in that particular area, we can go ahead with. So unless we see there is a green issue problem in the society, we cannot take that as a research topic. Yes, here research identification is determining the cause of the problem. We have to understand what is the cause of the problem, and one thing we have to understand: differentiate fact from opinion. Yes, generally we go with facts. It is how we have to approach a research, not with opinions. If many people do not take medicines for malaria, if that is a situation, and that is the fact which is given by newspaper or some news authenticated resources is giving that news, then we can go with that study, and opinion can be ignored. State specify the underlying causes. Now, before the understanding the problem, we have to go with the causes. What can be the reasons? So if we start listing out the reasons, we can be backing up, or we can give a stand why the problem is chosen or why the topic is chosen, and state the problem specifically. So it should be in a statement. When a problem is identified, so I'm going to study on this area, I'm going to study on this particular domain. If that is very clear, we have to specifically mention that in a statement. For example, as I told you, I'm going to speak about two different problems. One is challenges faced by migrant employees due to COVID 2019. And another thing is impact of drug abusement among public. So these two are the problem areas which I have identified to demonstrate in this session. Fellow teachers, now we have to understand, like, choosing a topic, a research topic. Yes. What are the necessities for choosing a research topic? A research topic, like yes, when a research problem is annoying us, and when we are interested and capable enough to do that particular work on that particular problem or issue, we can go with that topic. So it is having certain things like ensure the topic is manageable and material is available. Generally, we go with a review of literature. So then there may be a question coming from people's mind like, sir, whether we should not go with any new topic where there is no literature is not available. No, we can go. The answer is we can go, and we have to go for certain issues. For example, COVID is a first time thing happening in the globe, and due to this pandemic, a lot more things, business, commerce, individuals, family life, everything has been affected, and this is happening for the first time. Such a disaster can be addressed with the research for the first time. That can be done. But why do we want to say that your research should be supported by review of literature and enough materials and resources should be available? One thing, for what all things comes in our mind, that should be a backup of supporting previous research. Previous research like review of literature will help us to add our views with supporting previous researches. For example, there is a study stating like drug abusement among senior citizens. See, these drugs are being consumed by senior citizens to the maximum level, and the drug abusement is more, almost some 30 to 40% of people consume or have drug abusement practices are belonging to this category, that is senior citizens. Now, there is a research saying this, and this evidence will be supporting our thoughts and ideas. So this is how the previous research will be supporting or backing up whatever we say in our research. So our research points cannot be new. When it is seconded by previous research, it will be authenticated. It will be seconded by previous research, and it will be having some values. And before choosing a research topic, we have to list out the keywords. Keywords here, I mean variables. Generally, in our previous study, we were speaking about drug abusement and practices. So here the keywords are human behavior on, that is drug abusement is one keyword. Human behavior is another keyword. Senior citizens is another keyword. And what all the words or variables in which we are going to focus on our research is those words should be listed, and those words are being coined as keywords. One of the simplest research I could quote as an example here: a study on organizational climate and leadership motivating employees for better performance. Here the keywords are organizational climate, leadership, employees performance. So like this, the domain area of keyword should be identified. And when we choose a research topic, we should be more flexible, at least to some extent. We cannot change the topic, but we should be comfortable enough to add few variables or remove certain variables. So that sort of flexibility in the initial stage will end up in a quality research, and that is more important. When we start up thinking of concept, few variables will not come into our mind, and we will fix a topic even. But after that, when we think once or twice, some variables may be feeling significant to be added in that research topic. So our research topic should be giving scope for such amendments, such editing of topics, and that should be a scope for it. So this is how it should be flexible, and the topic should be focused. Focused means very clear, very narrowed down. I saw a recent research. There was a proposal. By a student, by an MBA student. He was giving in a proposal of studying about fintech applications and uses by students in India. See, fintech applications are like Google Pay and Phone Pay and other financial technological applications, which is enabling us to have digital transformation of money. And a student cannot choose India as a study place area. If that is done, it cannot be done within 45 days. It cannot be, it has to be mentioned in the research methodology, everything is there. So here, the focus is not narrowed down. And we should be very much specific about our research scope. Then research and read more about your topic. Yes. This is the first thing we have to do, and many supervisors insist even the same. So when we are concerned with doing a research, we have to read many more research topics similar to this, and done in connection to our own field, our own nature of audience, and our own variables, using our own variables. Such things, such connection should be kept in mind, and we have to go with those things. So choosing a research topic that is narrowed down, clearing, when listing out the keywords, and it should be having the scope of flexibility. These all are important points when we go with choosing of research topics. What are things we have to avoid when we choose a research topic? Certainly, we have to avoid outdated research. Yes, outdated research, we know that whatever the thing is not in practice, whatever the thing is not in the scenario, we have to ignore such topics, research topics, and those things are mentioned here. So over a period of 3 years of time, if anything is not there in the market, if anything there is there not in the practice, we can ignore the research topic. For example, today, we do not have pages, we do not have typewriters. A research topic on usage of typewriters or uses of pages is completely it's not suitable for today's scenario. And example of good research topic, how it can be narrow, how it can be focused, how it can be specific. A study on challenges faced by migrant employees due to this COVID 2019 in India. And for the second issue, an investigation on the impact of drug abusement among among senior citizens in Chennai. So here, the variables to be studied is very clear in these two topics. The domain which is selected is also very clear. One is migrant employees, and other study is about drug abusement. And the audience from whom the data will be collected is clearly stated. I mean, the respondents are shown here. One is migrant employees, and the second one is senior citizens. And the place where the study is confined is stated clearly in India and in Chennai. So I hope you are coming with me and how a research topic should be. So there are minimum 4 to 5 factors we have to look into when framing a research topic. Like the variable should be there, the respondent should be very clearly mentioned, and the domain should be mentioned. I mean the theme. Fourth one is which geographical area the study is confined to can also be mentioned. It has to be there. So when even a layman reads the research topic, he should understand clearly about what this research is going to tell about. So these are the certain things which are very essential in framing a research topic. So as I quoted, when India is a study mentioned, it's a massive study. It's a large scale study, and it should be done with such scope of it should be taken 1 year of time for studying, or majority we should cover all the states, at least north, east, with south part of India should be covered. So there are certain limitations for using such geographical conditions. And now, generally, we draft abstract. Abstract is done on 2 cases. One is, before doing a research, we give an abstract in a synopsis. Second is, after doing the research, completing the research, also in thesis, we may include this content called as abstract. So the meaning is same. I mean, the meaning is same. There is a small difference. Let me inform that. The abstract is a summary of the research. That is very clear. It's a summary of the research. Okay, fine. What it has to do and what it tells and how it's been done. It's about 300 words. And this summary completely tells about the research alone in this 300 words. Here, it tells about the research topic. It gives a descriptive understanding about the research topic, and the methodology used in the research topic, the variables used in the research topic. So generally, we use the variables like organization climate or people's drug abusement practice, or understanding of leadership qualities among entrepreneurs, or some such sort of variables may be studied. Those variables should be compulsorily pinpointed out in this abstract, and it should give in a line about the problem, and it should explain into 3 to 4 lines about the methodology used in that research. Friends, I was speaking about the difference between abstract before doing a research in a synopsis and after doing a research. The major difference is about findings. Before doing a research, we'll have a proposed findings and its significance. But after doing a research, it will be having a major findings. That's all. That is the difference. So this is how an abstract is. A study says 80% of the people read this abstract and get into the article or get into this research for further reading. So if you want to attract people, if you want to convey maximum information about your research, it can be conveyed better through this effective abstract, and this will give a possibility of people going in depth about the thesis, and they will read more if the abstract is good in connection. So in this abstract itself, we'll get an idea about whether the research is related to our study or not. So let me come to this introduction part. This introduction part tells about, it gives an introduction about the study. It tells about what is the study is all about and what are the variables used, industry or a sector or a people or audience who are connected with the study. And this introduction tells about how this study is going to be a significant thing to the society and addressing the issue. So introduction is an important part and it cannot be vague. We have seen in many introduction, it does not give the roadmap. It does not give a clear-cut idea. In many researches, we can see like the research is not clear. It gives clear introduction about the various variables what we are going to study. One example is like in a leadership study, what are the various factors influencing leadership is also factors involved in our study. And in such cases, we have to define, we have to give an introduction about the variables which is influencing leadership. So that is how it is in the hands of the researcher. It's a discretion of the researcher to stick on, to have a framework about what are the things can be included in the study. And we have to create an outline in the sense subheading should be created. And then if you start working on it, it will be having a framework to work on it. So generally introduction or any other topic, when you go with the research, go with a framework. What are the things you are going to include in that research and how it is going to be included. And with those clear-cut idea, if a person is getting into the research will be solving the problem or solving the purpose. Otherwise, there are all chances of going this research as an ambiguity or creating some vagueness in which may not be solving the purpose. So this introduction should give overview about the research topic and how the research is going to make a contribution to the stakeholders or the people those are going to get benefit, and explain what is the interest in the topic. So this certain topics will be having social benefits, certain topics will be having employee benefits, certain topics will be having students benefits. That benefits or interest or significance should be pointed out in the research. List the research objectives. So in the introduction part, it is very, very necessary to list out the research objectives, and we are going to see how research objectives can be. So the first part comes with research questions. So when we go with the research question, it can be an open-ended question. It can be open-ended question in the sense we don't give any options for the research questions. Like yes or no option is not given or multiple option is not given. It's a statement of question and it should explore something. Here in the later part of the slide, I have given avoid questions that can be answered with yes or no or a single word or a phrase. So this is how a research question should not be. Now I have created two questions in connection to good and bad, which is related to our topic which we are discussing in this session. Does drug abusement is affecting people? Now it is possible of giving yes or no answer. So this cannot be a research question. In what all ways does the practice of drug abusement is affecting people? Here, you cannot say yes or no question. You have to investigate. You have to investigate. You need some exploration, and so this is to be considered as a good research question. The second one is bad example is COVID-19 is affecting the life of migrant employees? Obviously, the answer is yes. It should not be in this way. Now, how it can be done? What are the impact of COVID-19 among the migrant employees? Now, how their lifestyle is affected, how their economy is affected, how their family is affected, how their health is affected. All these areas can be explored. We have a scope of studying all these areas now. So this is how a research questions should be framed. So it should not give scope for yes or no type of answers. It should give a scope of investigation. It should give a scope of analysis. It should give a scope of comparison or something like that. Now let us speak about the problem statement. Everyone knows that when the problem statement is clear cut, the research issue will be solved very easily. A clear cut problem definition is very, very essential to go ahead with the research. For this, we emphasize on clear vision. Like clear vision tells about what is our study is all about and where we are going to end up with. So generally, let us see the mistakes which has been done in giving the problem statement. Example, does this home reading help to develop a student? Yes, the answer is obviously yes. Here, there is no scope for research. And our elementary school teachers creative. Here also there is no scope for research. So here is no problem is here. So there should be a problem, and this problem should be in a statement. And like you mentioned earlier, the problem statements should kind of stick on with, should have with the variables what all we discussed, and it should mention clearly who are the audience we are going to study from. So it should be a clear statement, but similarly, it should not be a vague statement. A components of good problem statement. It should be when we choose a problem statement, it should be up to date. Up to date in the sense it should be in the current scenario. The problem should be in current scenario. You cannot take an issue which happened previous 4 years or 5 years before. Now we cannot do a study on tsunami attack, tsunami disaster which attacked Chennai. And now we cannot go with Second World War, impact of Second World War study. So such things we have to keep in mind. We have to go with the current scenario. We have to go with happenings of the incident of the research, which is going to be related with the research. Evidence of the past research in the field, therefore, is very important. And topic should be relevant to revealed from observation. So when you observe, it should be evident. Now we can see many people going to medical shop without prescription and buying. It's an evident. Now we can see many, when this pandemic was announced, when this lockdown was announced, we could see thousands and millions, the lakhs of people were facing difficult to go to their hometown. Many people were working in Kerala, in Chennai, in Bangalore, in Andhra Pradesh. Those people were working, native of Gurgaon, Bihar, Rajkot, Almar. Like we can see many people from various part of northern India. They came here and they found it difficult to go to their place again. So that should be an issue which should be observed when we have a glance, and it should have a problem statement should be having a theoretical framework. So theoretical framework says about like theoretical framework, like it will be guiding you how to work. For example, impact of leadership. There are many more theories on leadership. Impact of people's behavior. We have a number of theories which is telling about people's behavior. Example, Sigmund Freud behavioral theory is there. Stephen Covey's behavioral theory is there, and many more theories are there. So when we choose an issue, when we take a problem, if we have sufficient theoretical framework, we have a background of supporting theories. That is what it tells. When you want to study about the employees' motivation, or people's motivation, or students' motivation, there is a motivation theory given by Maslow, and many other people have given motivational theories. These theories will be giving us a guidelines how to go about with the research, and how to think beyond the topic. Similarly, scholarly peer-reviewed sources, other sources, and a very fine source we have is Google, Wikipedia, and authenticated journals, articles, newspapers. All these are can be considered for backup resources. And another important thing is originality of the study. So our study should be basically a original one, a genuine one. So that is how we have to go with the problem statement. And now let us move with the nature of the study. This is the heading which is used in introduction, and this tells about basic methodology that we use. It provides certain information. Those information is a summary of the research, and it tells about what methods you are going to use. Of course, research methodology is a third chapter or third part where we are giving detailed information, but the nature of the study tells about how the study is conducted, how the study is moved, and it includes methods, design, data collection, and analysis procedures, and it describes about how the study is conducted. And now the important part comes here. It's about objectives of the study. And this study, this here, now the time is 12:45. I think we are running short of time, but still we are in the introduction part. Here I have an example of like how objectives should be framed. It is very clear that the objective should be to study or to analyze something or to measure something or to compare something or to suggest something. It should be a verb of doing something. It should be very much clear about an action plan of doing something. So objective can be of only of this types. Here I have quoted some examples how an objective can be, and these are the very important things in a good research. So well stated objectives is very much for a research. Then speaking about the hypothesis, we all know that hypothesis is assumption, but it should link between two variables, that is independent variables and dependent variables. Generally, we speak about independent variables as age, gender, marital status, occupation, income level, all these personal profile of a person. So independent variables are not affected. They do not change. Dependent variables change based on the independent variables. So my dressing sense, my taste, my preference, everything depends on my income level, my age factor, my occupation, my locality, I mean general, urban or local. All these factors influences the dependent variables. So the dependent variables can be like preferences, satisfaction, performance of employees. These all depends on independent variable. Okay, so there is no. I have given quoted two examples of null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis always says that there is no association or no relationship between two variables. And alternative hypothesis says about there is difference between our relationship between two variables. Why should we have this hypothesis? What makes this hypothesis an essential thing? If we are interested in an experimental study or an analytical study, if we are interested in doing a research using analytical tools, a hypothesis framing is very essential. And how these hypotheses are framed? Dear faculty members, like hypotheses are an assumption. We know that. How do we get this assumption? We get this assumption based on our previous experience, or when we read previous research articles, we get some assumption, we get some idea, and based on that assumptions, we go further. So with this idea, which is created already, either through review of literature or our own experience or just by observation, we just go with proving that it is there or not. So hypothesis is an assumption of statement which tends to be proved or disproved. So for that, we create two statements and we adopt certain tools for analysis, and further we prove or disprove the statement. So that is how hypothesis can be. And here I have given a few examples of independent variables and dependent variables. There are two types of errors also. So rejecting a true hypothesis is type 1, and accepting an incorrect hypothesis is type 2 error. So this can be taken into in-depth research methodology, but still we should be aware about the variables, independent variables and dependent variables. As quoted here, motivation, preferences, behavior, and satisfaction performance, all these things depend on independent variable. So it depends on age, it depends on gender, it depends on occupation, it depends on income level, like a lot more factors are there. So this is how we understand the dependent variables and independent variables. Generally, we have scope of study in a research, and here what it comprises. It comprises about the time frame of the study. The study, in the scope of the study, the time frame should be mentioned, and which the researcher should be aware about how many days we are going to do this research. 45 days or 1 month or 2 months or 1 year, or during a period of 1916 to 2019. So like this, we have a time frame of study that should be mentioned in the scope, and geographical area of the study where the research is conducted, and the respondents who were being targeted. All these three factors can be quoted in the scope of the study. And limitations, a constraint, it is known as a constraint or a boundary in which we operate. Generally, I can see in many students' research or scholars' research, we have given 45 days of time, and that is a constraint. No, that is not. That cannot be a constraint. That is the framework under which you have to do your project. That is the curriculum. That is what the curriculum says. There cannot be a limitation. So limitation can be the busyness of the respondents, or the respondents are giving fake opinion due to they are scared with the management or leader. They do not give their right opinion, and they do not respond properly. That all can be limitations. Due to rain, I was not able to move towards the respondents and collect the information properly. That can be a limitation. So limitations can be a constraint under which we can work. And speaking about the review of literature, it's about previous authors' research. We take those researches as a preceding research, and based on that proceedings, we further go ahead with our research. We compile with the objectives, and what all findings we quote, what all methodology we quote, we take supporting information from the previous research. And in this review of literature, research gap is very important. So when we want to choose a research topic, without this research gap, it cannot be processed further. I mean, like, there is no use in doing a research which is already done for the same audience, for the same people, or for the same issue. When there is a issue, and it has been addressed by previous research, it is no use of going again and doing that same research. So we have to be confined with what are the variable studies in the previous research. Is there any difference, variable difference? Is there any period difference? Is there any audience difference? Is there any time frame difference? So such differences can be quoted in the research gap, and that will give us substantiation, that will give a supporting evident, like there is a usefulness or significance in going ahead with our own research. So we have to mention, we are liable to mention about in what way the previous research, our research is different from the previous research. So these all is about review of literature. So review of literature, we can have two conceptual or two different aspects which can be taken from review of literature. One is conceptual aspects and research aspects. So when we do research, the review of literature of leadership, we have to take conceptual explanation, theories given by various authors and various scientists, as well as researches done by various researchers on this leadership. So these both reviews will be supporting our research, and that is how we can go ahead with research. Like I have given 4 statements how it should be. And what are the sources of review of literature is also given here, books, scholarly articles. And today, online is a very big source where physical resources are not required. We need not go to library, we need not go to office or like where the database is stored. Now we are very much accessible to the online resources, and we can have plenty of review of literature. And speaking about the research methodology in any social research, all these points are very essential. Type of the research, we have to mention about which type of research we follow, whether qualitative or quantitative research we follow, or descriptive research or experimental research we have to follow. So it's a duty of the researcher to mention appropriate research type. So this methodology gives about the blueprint of how research is adopted and implemented, and finally it gives about the procedure for following doing that research. So we mentioned about the population. The population tells about the total audience, respondents. In the sample design, we mentioned about how we determine the sample size and who is called as a unit. That is, one respondent is called a sample unit. So how do you define that one respondent? And sampling techniques, almost. So we discuss here about the theoretical part, but we can correlate the theoretical part with the 2 issues we mentioned in the earlier stage, like the drug abusement and impact of COVID with people. In some cases, I could see in majority of the cases, not in some cases, majority of the cases, the sample size is 100. The sample size is 150. Why this 100 and why this 150? Why not 159? It is based on the convenience of the researcher, we fix 150. There is no logical decision taken here for fixing the sample size. So as a researcher, we fix, but it is 150 is easy for calculation, or 160 is easy for calculation. We round the figure and we go with data collection. So there are certain formulas which can be followed, and there are even online. Now online calculators are there. You just give the total number of respondents. The sample size will be there immediately. And this is how we have to go with the research methodology, and like mentioning about the instrument of data collection, tools used for analysis, presentation. It should be well framed. before taking a social research, we should be very much keen into this research methodology. A social research should be conceptually sound, taking an issue, and it may not be even concerned with using many tools, but it should be giving some information or problem solving informations, or coming out with solutions of addressing that issues. Those things all are very important in social research. And moreover, in a research, the basic part is it is to understand and address the people's problem and give solution for that. That is mandatory. That is the major thing. But the research report tells about how even a layman should understand about what we have done. So these few words, I think, in this 1 hour we can speak about this fundamentals in this way. Of course, here I'm. This was the topic which I started when I started. Like, what is the role of a teaching faculty, and why should a teaching faculty involved in research? And I encourage, in this way, I encourage all the teaching fraternity to go with addressing the common issues, common problems, do a study, do an investigation, and publish this article, publish this issue. Only if a research is published, it will be reaching the society and the findings will be known to the society. If a research is done and kept as a book in the table, when it is not published, it is of no use. Now we insist all the faculty members to publish because of this issue. When there's a social cause, and when we address the social cause, when it is published, it will be known to many people. It will be creating an impact on practices or whatever it is of many people. Our solutions or suggestions may be useful for many people, and that is how we can contribute more to the society. So now I think I have created a link how social research is very essential, and how a teacher, a professor is taking the social research and after doing this research, why publication is very essential, and how he is going to be beneficiary to the society. Thank you, dear management, and thank you, audience, for listening, patiently listening to my words. Thank you for having your attention, and now we shall go for discussion even.
So, thank you so much, sir. That was really nice presentation by you. Sir, one of our participants has asked a question in chat box, sir. How best we can upgrade our research at global level? Please, sir.
I'm taking down. What was the question, madam?
Sir, once again, I'll repeat, sir. One of our participants, Mr. Rajashekhar, has asked a question, sir. How best we can upgrade our research at a global level? Any tips, sir?
Yes, madam. Actually, global level applying of research is simple. When there is a global issue, when you take that issue to the global level, that is what the global level is. So we need not go with global level of issue. If it is concerned on global standard, then it's good. I mean, if a researcher is looking of following a global standard, then it's good. Actually, research is a thing which is common. I can share my experience. I was in an African university as a dean of arts. And now I'm presently working with LEAD, and I'm also working with the Greece University as a PhD supervisor right now. So comparing all these three universities, the quality of research is same. The standard what they follow is same. But now what is important is, are we follow the standard of norms which is given? That is a simple thing. And moreover, the format is same. Now, whether it is going to be urban or rural or a state level or a country level or a international level, it depends on the issue. If it's an international issue, when we do a research, it is an international issue. and the format is same. That is what I want to say, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for explanation, sir. So one more question in the chat box, sir. How can we access foreign authors for collaborative research?
Yes, madam. That is out of network only we can do. Out of network, like I have done few articles on collaboration of Nigerian faculties and Kenyan faculties. This is how we have a rapport. For example, let me tell practically how I get into contact. I have organized two international conferences. One, when I was working in my hometown in Virudhunagar, and organized an international conference, and after coming to lead, we organized international conference. So for this, we invited few people abroad as a resource person, and later we had a network, we had a rapport, and through mail conversation, we shared our area of research, and we shared the questionnaire. So he collected information from those area, and I collected information for the same topic, same research questionnaire was used, and now collaborative research have done. We have done a collaborative research. So this is how a joint research. So it's a healthy one. It's a healthier part. Even same situation or same problem may be there in 3 different places. We can coordinate as a researcher. When we coordinate and give a common suggestion, it is well and good. That is how we should have an international perspective of seeing an issue. That is good. So I'm glad to have such questions. The previous question also was to have an international standard. I'm glad to have answered that question also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. One more, sir. How to select appropriate statistical tools to analyze the data?
Yes, madam. Here, based on the information what we need, generally we go with one researcher will come and approach. I have seen people coming and approaching, sir, I want to do SEM. I ask them, why do you want to do SEM? See, if there is a need, a demand for analyzing 3 variables and relationship between 3 variables. For example, organization climate, leadership, and performance. If you want to understand the relationship between 3 variables, you can go with SIM. So structural equation model is a tool which gives a relationship between 3 variables, fine, or 3 or more variables, even 5 variables also we can go. So if you need just a percentage information, better to go with descriptive statistics or percentage analysis. So it is the information what we need should decide what the tool we have to use, not the tool itself. So that is how I need to I want to approach. And there is a statement, but that is a thing, like every tool demands certain information and it gives a certain format of information. For example, when we go with chi-squared needs 2 variables information, independent variable and dependent variable. And here we study whether these 2 variables are having a relationship or impact or something like that. For example, is there any gender-wise influence on buying Fanta? Whether male buys Fanta or female buys Fanta. If this is the topic, now you can go for chi-squared because it gives about, it demands about study of 2 variables, gender and preference. So this is how we have to choose a tool, and we can, that will be meaningful also. So whatever tool we go, that should be demanded by the information or result what we are giving. In review of literature, can we depend on online resources? Yes, 100%. Today, the plagiarism, of course, research ethics should be followed by everyone, and we are following. Many Scopus and ABDC journals, all these are following certain plagiarism norms. Very big universities are having their own plagiarism check and plagiarism norms. So whatever published in online is supposed to be authenticated, supposed to be trusted, and we can go ahead with this. How can I select the journals of my research publication? Some research journal scope is covering general computer science. Yes. Now there is an ambiguity in this issue, madam. Sankita Priya from IT department is asking. There is an ambiguity. See, earlier the scope of the research journal was more specific. Now, in some cases, only in some cases, it has become commercial. They want to attract various wide scope of articles, research articles. What they do for this, they include management perspective is also included in the scope. Marketing perspective is also included in the scope, and like this, many perspectives are included in the scope. So there are plenty of journals which is very narrow in the scope. Yes, I would like to point out, yes, like one incident happened yesterday. We were about to submit a research article to NAPM. NAPM is National Institute of Personnel Management, and they are releasing a journal. This journal is about technological impact on employees and sustainability. And we were very much interested. We had a paper on motivation of employees and morale of employees. When we interacted with the editor very clearly mentioned that, sir, your paper does not fall under our scope, and we are not going to accept this paper. Kindly, please do not send us the paper. See, the scope is very narrow, and if it is not applicable, we need not go with that scope. So we have to choose a research journal which is having narrow scope. So for publishing easier, you can go with the journal which is having wider scope. That is my opinion. Sir, tell me about population of the study. Study of migrant workers, how we calculate the population. Here, the population cannot be defined. I mean, the numbers cannot be exact. It can be an approximate. We know that here statistics is not giving proper space for coming out with the numbers. We cannot say that 2 lakh employees are migrant employees, or 2 crore people are migrant. No, it's a very vast. And now we can have an assumption. That is what we can do. So based on the previous news from published in newspaper or online papers, we can have an assumption, and we can rely on even government statistical information which is published or unpublished because of this, due to this migrant workers. There are sources. So if you approach statistical department, they may give you migrant employees working from various states in our state. So that can be obtained. That can be taken as a thing. But still, if they are not providing, we need not worry. We need not define. We can have an assumption. Another question is from Dr. Maheshwari. Sir, how to fix a sample size for pilot study? It is the discretion of the researcher, madam. Actually, pilot study is done for a small size of a population. We do this study. Generally, for a pilot study, we take 100 as a sample size, 100 or 50. It's an assumption. It goes on a prediction, and it's an assumption. There is no hard and fast rule for pilot study sample size determination. So if the sample size of your study is around 500, you can have 50 as a sample size, and this 50 will be representing your total sample size. And yes, madam, like Aisha Siddiq, I would like to know about where can we publish our research in humanities, which would help in bringing a change in the current society. There are a lot of social journals. There are a lot of societal journals. One best thing is, it is not necessary to publish only in journals. You can publish in newspaper. Only thing is the format is different. That's all. If you have a wonderful study, if you have trust, that is, if you have worthy enough to publish in a newspaper, it will be most welcome by the editors. So only thing is the format alone is different. So we have to present in a format which the newspapers are accepting. So if you want to reach the society, if you want to give some benefits to the society, you can give it to newspapers, or you can create your own YouTube. You can create your own blogs. You can go with online publishing sources. See, these all are inexpensive. Very soon you can reach today's audience, and this is how you can be beneficial to the society.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your explanation, sir. It was really a very fruitful session. It was indeed an eye opener for all of us. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge towards research with us, sir. Thank you so much. And now I call upon uh, Mrs. Sheila ma'am to propose vote of thanks. Sheila ma'am.
Ah, yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I consider it a great privilege to thank the gathering on behalf of the Department of Commerce, Professional Accounting, and Accounting and Finance. First and foremost, I thank the God for showering the blessings upon us and giving us the opportunity to conduct this 7 days virtual faculty development program. I thank our chairperson of the Hindustan Charitable and Educational Trust, Kanayan sir, Managing Trustee, Mrs. Saraswati Kanayan ma'am, and the Executive Secretary, Mrs. Priya Satish Prabhu ma'am, for their constant encouragement and support for organizing such programs. I thank the CEO, Dr. K. Karnakaran sir, for motivating us in all our ventures. My profound gratitude and thanks to our principal, Dr. A. Punusami sir, for his guidance and support rendered in conducting this program. And I render my immense gratitude to the resource person of today's session, Dr. K. Sankar Ganesh sir, Professor and Dean of Academic Lead College of Management, Palakkad, Kerala, for devoting his valuable time with us and explaining to us about the fundamentals of the social research. Thank you very much, sir, for your clear explanations about each and every element of research, like choosing a topic, giving the problem statements, objectives, hypothesis setting, research methodology, etc. All these are common things to us, but still we commit some errors in it. So thank you for guiding us and correcting the errors and showing us how to correct the errors. Thank you very much, sir. I thank all the faculty members and the research scholars of the various colleges from Tamil Nadu and other states for their active and wonderful participation in this event and making it a grand success. Thank you for your enthusiasm and eagerness shown in the topic and making the session more interactive and interesting. It is a duty to thank the professor and head of the Department of Commerce, Professional Accounting and Accounting Finance, Dr. M. Nirmala, who has taken all the efforts to organize this faculty development program. And I thank all the members of the faculty who have been the backbone of this FTP. Once again, I thank one and all present here in this program and making it a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
For
audience.
sharing
Thank you,
your insights.
management. Thank you, head of the department and team members for listening to my words patiently. Thank you, Anda.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.